Hi everybody, Chef John Gonzalez from A Chef's Kitchen in historic downtown Williamsburg, Virginia. Real quickly today, I just want to go over some very basic knife skills in the kitchen. It's an incredibly important part of cooking, but we're just going to keep it to the basics. Starting with a cutting board. This is an end grain cutting board, which means the wood is cut and looking up at you. So the grain of the wood, like the end of a log sitting up on its end. And that allows the board to heal itself. I can draw an X on here with the point of my knife, and it'll close up. And this is an approved substance, this maple cutting board. But underneath here, for safety reasons, I've got a little paper towel, some anti-slip shelving material there, liner, and you can't have this thing moving around on you. Now, this is a Santoku by Shun, but I want to brush it up on my steel at less than a 20-degree angle, just to sort of brush it up a little bit and realign that blade. A good knife will have a healthy amount of carbon steel in it typically, and you can use your sharpening steel as a test of how much carbon steel in it. If this was all stainless, it wouldn't be attracted to that magnet at all. And the reason this is magnetized is to pick up a lot of the little burrs that may develop after sharpening your knife or during the brushing up of it. So we've got a good sharp knife. I just picked a couple carrots. I didn't have any celery today, and we just decided to do this. A quick little demo. So I'm going to cut my carrots in a manageable length, and they like to roll around a lot, unlike celery, so I'm going to sort of level the playing field a little bit, right? So you can use the knife as a lever like this. It's sort of how we might go into the back of a lobster. You don't have to always have your hand in there with these things that roll around a lot. So we've got these guys. I'm going to get a few more here. And you can see you can sort of get your other hand out of the way if you want to. We typically don't. We keep our hand in danger's way. And I'll show you a little bit about what happens here. Now, also with a sharp knife, it goes where you tell it to. If this was not sharp, it might roll off of here, not going where you want it to, and go right into your finger or something. So the sharp knife is actually a little safer. All right, now, buy a knife that rocks on the cutting board a little bit. You don't want something that just pancakes down flat. And test the knife. You don't want your knuckles to be the first thing that hits the cutting board. So I love the design of this, and it works perfectly. Now, this is the motion that we talk about in our classes, the fulcrum motion. The fulcrum motion, like this, and I think his easiest way to describe it is your hands working like a piston. Every time the heel of this knife touches the cutting board, I'm going to draw a new circle with the heel of the knife. From my vantage point, it's clockwise. 6 o'clock, reach out to 9, 12 o'clock high, 3 o'clock, and back to 6. If the knife doesn't leave the cutting board, you will automatically develop this motion, this circular piston-like motion. 6, 9, 12, 3, and back. And you can do that. Practice slowly. You can develop this skill. So the reason we do that is so what we're cutting actually slides through, the knife slides through the product that we are cutting. You can see, right? And that's why we do that. If you cut like this, if this is your knife skill, you can never get better at that. This one here you can actually improve on, right? So the next thing we do is introduce the bear claw grip. And here's the bear claw grip. Keeps our fingertips protected, tucked away from the blade of the knife, and we get to use that, in this case, my left hand holding the product, so it's not, we're not chasing it around the cutting board. Now, a little more experience, you can actually use your lead knuckle as the guide and to sort of calibrate your cadence, but calibrate the depth and how wide you're cutting something as well. You can get real close down like that. Now, notice that I'm not picking the knife up high enough to lose my knuckle. But if you had your fingertips out there with a very low profile, you would lose your fingertips. And what we've discovered is the fingertips are far more important than knuckles, right? And they bleed more. Anyway, just don't pick your knife up this high, which is very uncomfortable, by the way. Keep it low, and then you can use this bear claw grip. You can start back here a little bit and use that as a guide, right? So now you've got the fulcrum method. You've got the bear claw. And once you're feeling a little bit more confident, you don't ever play with knives. You can start using the chopping technique. And again, I'm not picking the knife up any higher than the peak of this knuckle. So I'm using this finger and this as the guide. So now we're using the chopping technique with the bear claw. So you can practice that a little more slowly if you like to. It's kind of hard. We're always in such a hurry here. And we jokingly will tell our guests, you don't want to watch, it's too scary. Anyway, so that's just the basic knife skill that I wanted to talk about today real quickly, the fulcrum method and the bear claw grip. Give it a try, and you'll end up having a lot more fun at the cutting board. Thanks again, A Chef's Kitchen, downtown Williamsburg, Virginia.